Hi Smriti. How are you?
Hi, Swetha. So lovely to see you, and thank you so much for having me.
Likewise. How are you today?
I'm good. I am also good because our first film, Achal Mishra's Dhui,
Yeah,
just went online, and people are watching and they're very excited. So it's a good day.
amazing. So, for everyone watching, Smriti is the artistic director of MAMI. She really needs no introduction. And MAMI is currently running in its 24th year right now, 2022. Is it?
It's the 23rd year. 23rd year.
23rd year. Right. So great, so Smriti, we're doing this project at News9 to commemorate Women's Day. And, I really wanted to profile 7 women in entertainment that have left an indelible mark. And you definitely fit the bill for all of the work that you've done with the Mumbai Film Festival and MAMI and just bringing films to and the film watching culture beyond mainstream cinema in India. So I just want to kind of dive straight in and start like a candid conversation with you. Definitely about film festivals and films and cinema and entertainment, but also about you and about like your favorite films. What are your dreams, your aspirations, stuff like that. So I hope you're excited.
I'm very excited, and also,
Amazing.
Shweta, I am really like it's really sweet of you to think of me when you were curating 7 women who
Right.
have really contributed to cinema. So it's wonderful to be on this list, and it's wonderful to be on a list that you've curated. And please count yourself amongst one of the women, who's adding tremendously to do many things for the cinema landscape that exists in India.
Okay. So how did you go from Jeena Aisi Ka Naam Hai to like starting a film festival in India? Like how did that journey
So,
happen?
Shweta, the thing is, I wish I had started MAMI, but I hadn't. I
Okay,
didn't even.
okay.
So, what is, see, Jeena was one of the most satisfying shows that I've done. Working with Farooq Sheikh and working with the team of Jeena was incredible. I think it was a life-changing experience for me because um, I would, and the Gina team would, like everyone who was working on Gina Isi Ka Naam Hai, it was a very new experience. These kind of shows were not happening. And like I said, it was a different time. I think I always felt like I, first of all, came face to face with what frazzled work looks like.
Yeah.
Too many balls in the air,
Yeah.
too many things. And Gina was always recorded in real time because it depended on surprising the celebrity.
Yeah. So you needed those like real emotions. Yeah. Yeah.
So, we never had, like with other reality shows, you could record the whole day,
Yeah.
2 episodes, the full day you're recording, you're honing everything. For us, it was like a surprise party. It was like throwing a surprise birthday party with a lot of research, with getting people. So it was also a very rewarding experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
To tell you the truth, when I was working on Gina, the work might have been very frazzled. And for the first time, I might have gotten to know what it feels like to work against deadlines and to multitask. But it was so satisfying because, first of all, there was Farooqji,
Mhm.
who was brilliant. Like, he is one of the best people I worked with. I miss him every day. I wish he was around, and I wish he was doing more work because he was truly one of a kind. And you know the mold must have really been broken after he was made.
Yeah.
He was just a very different person, and it was very. It was a great learning experience to be around him.
Yeah.
Interacting with him, doing the show with him, taught me a lot of things. But when we were doing, when Gina was happening at that point of time, piecing together someone's life and creating that on camera,
On camera.
uh,
Yeah.
it it was, it brought about every little thing that we were taught at ND, which is great research, pronunciation. Like, I'm saying this because you're a journalist yourself, but even today when I'm putting up a social media post, I mean, I go crazy
Copy
looking
edit
at
in your head.
copy edit like 85 times. I get it fact
Yeah,
checked. I'm
it's
like,
an occupational hazard. Yeah.
no, and I wish more people who were working in journalism today were treating this as
Yeah.
an occupational hazard. And, so all of that happened. And then I started doing a lot of work to build shows. My lens will never change on this. Like, I find every aspect and every department that works on creating equally important. You will never find me standing anywhere when we meet in person or in any conversation say I'm creative. No. I'm like, no, yeah. Matlab, everyone is creative.
Yeah, and there's
Let's
a
not.
special fun in putting your hands dirty into things and just
Yeah.
like,
See,
it's
and
so
also because
easy
of,
to be creative, but it's so difficult to be an execution person, right? Like getting those
I'm saying,
ideas. Yeah.
exactly, in all ways. Like, see, my point is that production and commercials and everything else is very important to creation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I have come up with the idea and I have come up with a format, I need to figure out how to do this. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
going to die in my
In your
notebook
head. Yeah.
and on my
Yeah.
computer. So I feel that when you are when you have the vision, you also need to know how to take that vision forward and make it a reality.
Yeah.
So that is the 360-degree thing that I most enjoy doing.
Lovely. Okay. So I am assuming there is an inherent love for cinema and filmmaking and, movies. And how do you take all of this experience that you've had so far in creating IPs and formats and your inherent love for and passion for cinema, and how do you create this ecosystem? And I'm not just talking about the Mumbai Film Festival or MAMI, but over the years, for anyone who's kind of seen MAMI through the years and attended the film festival and also seen the culture evolve, it's not just a festival. It's become like a movie watching ecosystem where you're connecting films from across the world and even regional films in India to an audience that may not actually have access to it beyond like going to a theater or now watching it on a streaming platform. So how do you take, and then this is in continuation with like creation versus execution, the debate on that. So how do you take this like inherent love that you have inside you and you make this whole kind of industry around it that is not the mainstream film industry, and it's also not like the pretentious film festival industry, which is like limited to a very niche set of people that watch a very niche set of films. It's this middle ground. So how do you get to this point?
We didn't like I feel MAMI found me because it
Yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
आपने मामी के लिए कितना किया है, कितना, I'm like, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है, मामी ने मेरे लिए किया है, क्योंकि I feel post 40 finding a gig that terrifies you mindlessly and takes your sleep away is very difficult to find, because most of the people are going through a professional rut, or it's all becoming repetitive. Some people are fighting for relevance.
Yeah.
And here there was a festival that everyone loved. People who truly are cinephiles, and that's not me, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who can break down any film for you. People who know references, filmmakers, they know everyone. The passion is incredible, and it doesn't. I don't even have like 3% of that, right? And when Mami came my way with the people that I was collaborating with, it just I just went along. I just started doing Mami. So there was no, there was no big thought. Something just started happening. That
Mhm.
we were making a pitch to. There was Anupma and Kiran,
Yeah.
Anupma Chopra, Kiran Rao, and then later on, like 7-8 months later, Kalpana Nair joined us, who's
Yeah.
incredible and fabulous. But apart from Kiran, the three of us were not really into independent cinema, so to speak. We had
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
to do with this. So all I want to say is that for me, getting into Mami was, I put everything that I had learned over the last 20 years into this.
Mhm.
And the only vision was that it should be an inclusive place. It should
Yeah.
not be a place that dilutes quality. That quality is very important to this ecosystem, but we cannot also be people who alienate people.
Yeah.
I don't believe, Shweta, in the tyranny of taste.
Yeah.
If tomorrow you tell me that, Smriti, I really like, Riverdale, and I tell you I'm watching Inventing Anna,
Mm.
I will never judge you and you will never judge me,
Yeah.
hopefully, because um, people need to be allowed what they want to watch.
To watch.
As a
Yeah.
festival space, we need to understand that we are not doing the same kind of things that others do to us, which is look down upon us just because we like something. So
Yeah.
you cannot do a film festival from a pedestal. You
Yeah. You
can't put
can't. Yeah.
yourself on a pedestal of high taste and high art and then do this, because that's the wrongest thing to do, according to me. So
You're absolutely
I
right.
feel, yeah, I felt I love movies. I love Sholay and Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge. And I also love Lobster and
Mhm.
also love Parasite.
Mhm.
So there must be many people like me, right? Who
Yeah.
like all kinds of cinema, enjoy cinema. So why can't we have a place that appreciates good cinema across the board
And
and
across genres also.
across genres? And why can't we be those people who say, we also love movies, you also love movies, you come and watch, we will come and we will organize it for you.
Mhm.
So it's a festival for film lovers by film lovers.
Yeah.
So the lens changed, because we never went into this saying, हमें तो आता है, हमें सब पता है, हमारा टेस्ट बहुत अच्छा है, हम दिखा रहे हैं तुमको, तुम शुक्र मनाओ. That
Yeah.
was not the attitude. The attitude
Yeah.
was, you love cinema, we'll do our best to get you the best things, to do everything possible to make this place thrive.
Which is
So
why I call it an ecosystem. It's not just a festival, it's a whole, and it's really changed the way we watch independent cinema. I want to say, because I've attended every year of Mami since 2015, and I've seen it evolve from a film festival to pre-pandemic. The last 2019 would have been your last year pre-pandemic, right? Yeah.
yes,
So the 4 years, the 5 pre-pandemic, it's really changed into this. Like the buzz around Mami is crazy. It's just everybody is excited, and it's really not just cinephiles. It's just movie
yes,
lovers, like you said, and it doesn't have that pretentious kind of aura. It's a very like, we have all kind of films. There'll be one big opening film, there'll be a big closing film, there'll be that one film that was in Cannes that everyone was talking about that's coming. So it's just, or there'll be like one regional film here or there. So it's just a variety of things that, for everyone, movies for everyone, which is what I think has really kind of let it, even exist in a pandemic, and even kind of, um sustain when, at a time when, what do we know about movie watching anyway right now, right? So um I just I mean, congratulations on that, definitely. But
thank you.
also what I really wanted to segue into is that, like, what is your favorite film festival moment? And it could be from Mami, it could be from your own festival, but it would also be from a festival that you attended over the years outside of India, maybe, or even in India. But what is like, give me like a nice anecdote from a film festival that you went to.
Okay, so one of my favorite moments, I'm obviously at the top of my head, Vaishali Sinha's wonderful documentary called Ask the Sexpert on the late Mahendra Vats
Yes.
was screening at MAMI, and I think director Vikramaditya Motwane knows knew Mahendraji for a very, very long time. Like I think his mother knew him, and then Vikram knew him. So Vikramaditya Motwane is also on a board. So when he heard that the film is screening, and I think Vishali also must have requested him, so he came in to do the Q&A for the film. And because we'd asked Vikram to do this, and we constantly asked Vikram to do things and our board members to do things, I went to the venue to just make sure that everything is okay. And I remember entering the hall, and one boy, he was watching the film. He just watched the film and the Q&A just started. um, and he got up and he said that, listen, I don't have a question, but I just want to say that, after watching this film, before watching this film, I had a few ideas about sex. And after watching this film, everything has changed. And
Wow.
I'm just so happy I watched it. And, such a, like, I can tell you so many moments that, Ava DuVernay came, and which was lovely. And,
Yeah.
I hugged her and clicked a picture with her, and we are still in touch, and she's fabulous. But I feel that what we do this festival for, and what gives you joy, despite the fact that you might be dying and you might be dealing with very difficult people, and I'm sure everybody does that in their
Yeah.
profession. But when you hear something like this, now you carry on for the rest of the 4 days that are left of the festival with a lot of hope, and it's like balm to your soul, because you're like,
Yeah.
and I remember one other moment that was amazing was that I think it was the closing party of MAMI. And I was standing somewhere, and then a producer, I've forgotten his name, I think it was Anadi. A producer came up to me and said that, oh, thank you so much. And I said, wow, like, did you have a film at the festival? And he said, yes, we have a film in competition. It was Karmata Kappa's Ralang Road. And he said, actually, we'd made a film that we played in 2015 called More Man Ke Bharam. And that won the third prize in the India Gold section. And the prize money was 5 lakhs. And we bought a camera from that, because of which we could shoot Ralang Road.
Wow.
And,
Amazing.
so there are so many of these moments, like every time I feel, oh my God, it's not worth it, I need to leave. So many difficult people have to do it. Then some beautiful, like, connection story, somebody's life changing, somebody,
Yeah.
like, just there is, I have to tell you, Shweta, there is just so much love for this place. There is so much love for this platform.
You can feel
It
it.
has
Yeah.
offered so many lives that, when people turn around and say that, they talk about power and they talk about position, I'm like, when you get that kind of love, it's not the power of the position that matters. It becomes responsibility. So you carry responsibility.
Yeah.
You never do it like a job, because it's
Mhm.
not a job, because love
Yeah.
converts it. So
Yeah.
MAMI can never be a job.
Yeah.
Whoever is working at MAMI, if you're going to treat this like a job, it will not happen, because this is not a job. You have to bring something else to it in
Yeah.
order for you to.
Going above and beyond. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of not a job, I'm going to segue into some personal questions. Since we've spoken so much about work and film festivals and all of that. So I was reading in one of your interviews that you identify as a quote staunch feminist. I just want to know, what does it mean to you to be a feminist in 2022? And since this is a conversation about Women's Day, uh, do you think it was harder for you to do what you do because you're a woman, or is your role, does it have nothing to do with gender?
The thing is, in a deeply patriarchal society, uh, if you're a woman, you might be unaware, but your role and your job and whatever it is that you're doing, your gender will always somewhere be your job. Everything that you're doing is going to be affected. It's just that you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
So अगर आपको ये लग रहा है कि पेट्रियार्की और मिसोजिनी जो हमारे सोसाइटी में एग्जिस्ट करती है उसने आपको नहीं छुआ है, तो इसका मतलब है आप अनअवेयर हो, आपको पता नहीं है शायद. And I'll tell you something, Shweta, like I am still a work in progress as far as feminism or where all we are gaslit or what is not right is concerned. I started to become more aware of what is happening, of questioning things, of looking at situations. And I feel that the women's situation is so dismal at so many levels that even though all of us would want a non-referred to gender status, that, like we don't say male filmmaker and male this thing, everybody wants that nobody should say female filmmaker and female this thing also.
Yeah.
But I feel it's very important right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is because we are also taught to forget that we are women, that we are in this soup, because we are gaslit from all over. It's not one arena. Our narrative is like, I can talk to you for 15 hours over this, and not because of anything else, because I feel that I've also suffered in ways where I've not questioned the narrative.
Yeah.
I've also been the perpetrator at times of a narrative that I didn't know was problematic, or a lens that I didn't know was problematic. So I might have also done things which is execute patriarchy for somebody. अरे इसने क्या पहन रखा है, अरे ये घर ठीक से नहीं रखते, अरे उनका responsibility नहीं है, ये joint responsibility होता है. So my point is that it's not as if I was born and I knew what is wrong and I wanted to fix it. I'm still figuring out ki every day there might be some new situation that opens its opens up in front of me, and I'm like, oh my god, this is not okay.
Yeah.
So I think all it infuriates me, it angers me, and it can be alienating because people have so many notions about feminism even now. They feel women are बहुत लड़ती हैं, औरतें जो feminist होती हैं, very problematic. But what is a problematic person? Because I'm asking a question, then I become problematic. Because I'm protesting against a certain situation, then I'm problematic. All I'm asking for is equality.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that treat me equally. और उसमें अगर problem है, तो there is something wrong with you. It can't be an issue with me, right? So
because
therefore
patriarchy is the status quo, so anything that ruffles that becomes a problem.
And also, you must have seen the same narrative. If I'm asking questions, I'm problematic and nervous.
Yeah.
If a man is asking questions in my position, he's fastidious. If I know what I want to do, I'm too bossy.
Yeah.
If a man is doing it, he knows
your
what he
clarity
wants.
or yeah.
So cool. लेकिन जब मैं कर रही हूँ तो problem है. So my point is that all one is looking at is equality. One is not saying that, dry the atmosphere of any kind of moisture it has. I'm saying you cannot, this is unfair. And therefore, I will always look at everything with a lens that is a feminist lens, because I'm a woman. And if I don't look out for myself and look out for women, then what am I doing here?
Yeah. It's your personal politics, I'm guessing, right? Vis-a-vis.
It is my personal politics, and everything is political, Shweta.
Yeah,
There is nothing
absolutely.
that
I
is
agree with you.
political.
I agree with you.
So therefore, I mean, if I have these ideas, but I'm doing something really different in my workspace and saying, actually, I'm very apolitical, then how is this quantifiable? That I call
Only
myself a
privileged
feminist.
people are apolitical. You can't afford
Yeah,
to be apolitical
like those
otherwise.
people who turn around and say कि हमें तो पता ही नहीं था कि ये लोअर कास्ट और अपर कास्ट का क्या
Oh,
होता है,
what
हमने
is
तो
caste even like?
हाँ what is
Yeah,
caste, and I'm like, that's because you are upper
upper
caste.
caste,
तो
exactly.
तुम्हें कैसे पता होगा? It's like,
It was
how
never
do
a
you know that?
problem for you, which is why you don't think it's
Never
a
a
problem for
problem for you.
anyone else.
You were
Yeah,
never subjected to atrocities. You were never subjected to injustice. तो तुम्हें पता ही
yeah,
नहीं है. And
yeah.
therefore, when people turn around and say, why can't women do this? मैंने कहा, you walk in our shoes, ना, then you will know. कि जब ऑटो एक गलत सड़क पे जाता है, like there was a post and they said that, I love that post because, that is exactly what people don't understand. That when an auto took a wrong turn to go to the airport, the boy who was sitting in there was only worried about what he will be charged.
Yeah.
But if it was a woman sitting in there, there would be very different thoughts that
100
he must
questions.
get.
Yeah. Also, that
Exactly.
famous meme, right, which has like men and women on a running track, and there
Yes.
are the same. The starting point is the same, but like
Same
with
distance.
women, there are like all these hurdles. Yeah, it's that's so true, right? Like that's so.
And the man is saying same distance, no?
Yeah,
Like,
but it's not. And it's invisible to you, but it's not invisible to
also,
women.
Shweta, you see, any time that we talk, so there are many things. Like, think about it. Why is it that when women get together and have a glass of wine to talk to each other, it's called a kitty party, and
Yeah,
people
it's
laugh?
just so unfair. It's so unfair.
Men मिल रहे हैं ना lounges में whiskey के glass लेके, तो उनको तो बोला जाता है कि oh, they're talking, they could be
Yeah,
gossip, but
yeah.
everybody thinks they are doing something important. But हम लोग बैठ के चूड़ी कंगी और साड़ियों के बारे में बात करें.
That
Why is it so?
patriarchy is very, very omnipresent, I feel, in every
Look
life.
at that narrative. Look
Yeah.
at that narrative. That
Yeah.
narrative is so wrong,
Yeah.
And
I agree.
men gossip as much as women. Men are
Oh,
also
yeah.
very gossipy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I think
women are
humans
gossipy.
are gossipy in general. So
It's
it's
nice, no?
not,
Everybody likes
yeah,
a little, but
drama.
women must be gossiping, but men don't gossip. How is that? These are the things, and therefore I'm saying that even when we talk about, even when you and I are having this conversation, if you were to put this unedited, though you're editing
Mm,
it,
mm.
people will say male bashing is happening. Why listen, look at
And
our
all the
society.
other things we spoke about will just not matter at all. Yeah.
So, know, even to talk about this, we have to, exactly, even to talk about this, we have to explain to 50 people. You and I would have started the conversation. Pehle, I would have said, Shweta, I love men. I love men. And now I want to tell you what is the problem. My idol is my father. So ye 6 explanation dene ke baad,
Yeah. Only then you can get to the
so
point.
apparent and something that is so prevalent. Arif, how foolish are people? Of course, I don't hate men. ये मुझे बोलने की क्या जरूरत है?
Why
But
is being a feminist being equated with men bashing? I just,
that's because this conversation is uncomfortable for people because, like you said, it threatens the status quo. And therefore, nobody wants this because it's going to really ruffle feathers and it's going to really shake up the apple cart. So nobody wants to talk about it. And therefore, everything that women do, from you and I chatting to anything else that we are doing, is going to be looked at at the lens of frivolity
yeah.
or ranting. So these are the narratives that are created to really slow you down, undermine you, to make you feel less about yourself, to make you feel doubtful. There are so many accomplished women I know, I say this in every interview, they have so many doubts, and there would be men I meet जिन्होंने लाइफ में कुछ नहीं किया होगा, बट उन्होंने स्कूल खोलनी है अपने फिल्म मेकिंग के. They're so good, they're so cool, they're so amazing. I'm like, and I keep on telling the women, ki, yaar, you're amazing. You're like, you're very talented and look, you're a filmmaker. But they'd be like, filmmaker? Who?
Me?
Like you. Like what happened? So that is why I feel like, I feel like, I've kind of become stronger as a feminist. Like I've learned to own my identity because of the fact that I feel it's very important for the conversation right now to
Yeah.
very proudly say I'm female, and I want to be involved, and I want to look at everything with that lens, because I really, if I can itna sa bhi change something, I really, really do not want women who come after me, the generations that come after me, and they're already there. There are people like you, there are many amazing people, to go through the same shit that I might have gone through, or to wade through the same shit that I see people wading through, because it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
Yeah, it's absolutely unfair. Good to know. Good to know that. I especially love that you said you're a work in progress, because
Because I
that's
am, yeah.
yeah, a work in progress feminism, because even feminism in
Yeah.
India is kind of work in progress right now. It is evolving by leaps and bounds, but definitely long way to go. Okay, so speaking of that, quickly tell me, who are, like, off the top of your head, okay, don't like think too much, who are some of your female icons, like who are some women who you look up to, and they don't really have to be in films, it could be any women, but women you look up to.
I would say there are so many, like Michelle Obama, Ava DuVernay, Toni Morrison. Then, the amazing thing, Shwets, is that I have deep admiration for so many women who are around me. The people that I meet, I chat with, and I swear to you, Shweta, if you sit down and you talk with actually 90% of the women, if you were to just have one conversation over coffee, you will come back inspired. You will come back inspired. What they're doing in their life, how they're leading their life, how they're navigating every day with children, without children, single, divorced, married. Every woman has a very inspiring story. So for me, the everyday woman is my icon.
That's amazing.
I get really inspired by people when I listen to their stories. There's a screenwriter called Anu Singh Chaudhary, how she's going about her life. There are many people, that really, so these stories impact me. And I think that is the reason I like community building. That is the reason I like, creating opportunities and formats where conversation can happen, because I really actually naturally have a deep interest in people. So
Yeah.
therefore, when I listen to their stories, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है, और मुझे फायदा होता है उससे. I don't know किसी और को हो रहा है कि नहीं. So there are, like, if you ask me, I would tell you, it might not be the answer that you're looking at, but the everyday woman is my icon. Yeah. Like I can speak to any amount of women and come away feeling, my God, like, इसे award मिलना चाहिए. Like,
so I just want to know, what do you watch to unwind, or what do you watch for leisure? And a subsidiary of this is, just as a like, since we're talking about leisure, I want to know, where do you see yourself? And this is a very cliched question, but I don't want a cliched answers, and I don't want to know what you want to do with your career in 5 years. I want to know, where do you want to be in 5 years? From now, don't say alive, because that's a very, like, because it's so easy to hide behind the pandemic and be like, I just want to be alive.
So
But...
okay, for 45 minutes, I ain't putting anything on air.
But yeah, tell me, how do you unwind, and where do you see yourself in 5 years?
One of my favorite ways of unwinding is dancing. I mean, nobody's
Amazing.
interested in how I unwind, but what I do is I have a playlist that has the raciest songs and they could
Oh my
potentially
God.
also be very sexist. So I'm sorry, I have to be honest.
Mhm.
I have this playlist and I put it on and I dance like crazy in my room.
That's
And sometimes,
amazing.
no, I'm telling you, I'm like a closet, like I'm like fully like, you know, fully taken out the moves
Yeah.
and in my room.
That's amazing, but that's such a great way to like let off steam now. Even I do it.
Listen,
Not as
really
often, but I do it.
I think what I would like to do, and I'm hoping that I can achieve that, I definitely want to dabble in writing because a lot of people have asked me to write. I don't think I can do it, but I definitely want to give it a shot. I definitely want to try writing
Mhm.
because that's something a lot of people have approached me with. I was never
Interesting.
in front of the camera because I was asked many times to do this, but I kind of, it's like I was like, अरे तैयार होना पड़ेगा, कपड़े ढूंढने पड़ेंगे, makeup करना पड़ेगा. These are things I'm very away from, but
Mhm.
pandemic forced me to come in front of the camera and do something that I've avoided for the last 45 years, right? Which is never be in front of the camera. I must have, when I was a reporter, I had to do piece to camera. So I would do a bunch of piece to cameras, but I would really avoid it. And I had actually incredible bosses. They would always tell me, Smriti, please just do an interview in front of the camera. What is the problem? Why won't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not for me. I also was a little snobbish about it, which was ridiculous. And now I know it was counterproductive. I shouldn't have done it. So I have very slowly started to enjoy it. I used to have deep anxiety about being in front of the camera, but now I'm figuring my way around it. So I
Yeah.
definitely um, want to have that imprint going forward, and make a film. Like I like putting projects together. I like bringing people together because of what I did at the Mumbai Film Festival. I know people in different ecosystems. I know
Yeah.
people in different film cultures. So and different skill sets, like how do you market a film, what kind of festival journey can it have,
Yeah.
what are the various things to do strategizing.
Yeah.
So I definitely see myself busy, but continuing to do community building and continuing to create.